You want to slide down a dragon's meat pole like it's your birthday, and you end up with a half dragon known as a Drakeen as a kid. What are some of the laws within one of the 3 dragon havens known as Castellan to ensure you can see your child? And all this information's coming from the mating manual, which is from the world lore of my mangas based on my D&D game. And for the last time, there is nothing goonery about my mangas. And the reason all this lore is important is because it's going to dictate how orcs interact with elves, act with brimborn, act with humans. Biology is the foundation for how societies come up with social norms. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm not here to debate that. Like for example, in the Devil's Deal, Polly the monk likes ladies. Only 4 chapters later, when he's facing down against the cult leader, we hear some words in reference to his lover, a cereal, which is a lizard folk, and how different members of that society view cereals, or at least the idea of being with one. So whenever we talk about Castellan, we have to remember that it is a dragon's first society. So if you're not a dragon or a Drakeen, you're not a first-class citizen. And with laws like the Draconic Safety Doctrine that dictates that you, as a non-dragon, have no parental rights to your child, it can create a couple interesting situations in terms of interspecies relationships. So to the big question, are there laws in Castellan that allows the non-dragon parent in certain situations to view their child if the dragon parent doesn't want them to? So in general, if the dragon parent says, hey, I don't want you to see the kid, there's literally no laws within Castellan that you can fight for the right to see your child. You are SOL. And because a dragon does not become an adult until 101, if you are a human, you could literally never see your child again. The workaround to this is, well, not being a human or dwarf, because if you're a forest elf or orc, you could live long enough to see your child hit 101, and at that point, they have the right to see you. However, y'all remember the concept of overlordship that we talked about in prior videos. If you don't know, it basically allows older dragons, men or women, to view fledglings, which are basically children, and start pouring resources into them as they develop in order to give them the best opportunity to be the best candidate to have offspring with or soul meld with once they become an adult. No, they cannot sleep with a hatchling, fledgling, or juveniles, because all of Overlord's actions are dictated by Castellan Dragon Development Manual Cadam. The point of Overlordship is once they become an adult, in the highest order of who donated the most to who donated the least significant amount to that dragon's development gets a 6-month period of where they can date them. If the Overlord wants to date them, there's nothing you can do about it. They don't have to sleep with the Overlord, but they have to date them for 6 months and then go down the list and then make the decision if they want to be with them or not. If you are a parent, overlordship takes priority over your ability to see your child. So if you do not reside within Castellan, which as a non-dragon you most likely do not, it can prevent that adult dragon from leaving Castellan until they have gone through the entire rotation of overlordship to ensure the overlord has the best opportunity to show that they are worthy of being chosen by the new adult dragon. But after overlordship, hey, they're adult dragons, they can do what they want. But what if the dragon is not fit to be a parent? Does it go to the non-dragon parent? Nope. You don't even get a chance to make a plea to be the parent to your child as a non-dragon. Instead, if there are any dragon couples that for whatever reason cannot give birth, the child will be offered up to those wannabe parents on that list in a descending order. And if no one on that list wants that child, then the child is put into what we would consider the system. Draconic orphanages, which is basically a dorm within Castellan's academy. And they are given a guardian by the academy who will act as that parental figure until they become an adult. So if you want to get down and shag with a dragon or get shagged, you might want to be a parent, Castellan's not the place to do it. You got Mount Moltra and you got Estrus that you can try out because all 3 Dragon Havens have vastly different customs and laws. But you can support the mating manuals developed by grabbing a Ruby Gold sub or getting an original character into the lore by grabbing a diamond. Or as always, grab a copy of The Devil's Deal and Night of Slaughter where they take place in the same world with all this lore.